Good evening. I call to order this April 16th meeting of the Winston-Salem City Council, and I ask the City Secretary to call the roll, please.
Councilmember Larson.
Present.
Councilmember Clark. Councilmember Bessie.
Here.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burke. Councilmember Adams.
Here.
Councilmember McIntosh.
Here.
And Councilmember Taylor.
Councilmember Burke cannot be here tonight, and she asked me to give everyone her regrets for not being here tonight. Would you please join the City Council and me in a moment of silence? Thank you. Would you join the City Council and me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our Sergeant at Arms tonight is Lieutenant John Morris. Lieutenant, thank you for being with us tonight. Also want to mention we have visiting with us tonight our members of our Youth Advisory Council that are here tonight. Would y'all stand up? Thank you for being with us tonight. May we have the first honorarium, please.
Resolution honoring the 2018 City of Winston-Salem University graduates. Whereas there are 20 city residents who have successfully completed the City of Winston-Salem University: Sarah Blackburn, Alexandra B. Bullock, Nathan Bourne, Joshua Shane Kenzolna, James Artiga Carta, Brittany Gaspari, Mary S. Junca, Michael E. Green, Sonia V. Harry, Judy Hotchkiss, Ashley Johnson, Zena Johnson, Shannon Marie Little, Aquetta McAllister, Mary Millis McLaughlin, London Mickle, Sydney Richardson, Scott Self, Allison Smith, and Mary Margaret Smith. And whereas the 12-week coursework has included over 30 hours covering 17 city departments and divisions, completing a ride-along with either the Winston-Salem Fire Department or the Winston-Salem Police Department, attending at least one city council or committee meeting, participating in either the 2014 Bond Bus Tour, a tour of the Elledge Waste Water Treatment Plant, Waste Management's Material Recovery Center, or City Link, and completing a budget project. And whereas James Artiga Carter, Sonia V. Harry, Aquetta McAllister, and London Mickle will earn 3 continuing education units from the Winston-Salem State University based upon their coursework, and whereas the dedication of all 20 graduates has resulted in a better understanding and appreciation of city government and has given them the resources to better serve their communities. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and the Winston-Salem City Council hereby approve honoring the aforementioned 2018 City of Winston-Salem University graduates and wish them much success in their future as community leaders.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion second. Any discussion? Not all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Or vote aye while you're there. Do that. Anybody opposed, vote no. That is unanimous, and our congratulations to the members of the City of Winston-Salem University. Would y'all please stand and let us recognize you?
Here, here.
We thank you for participating in this program. You were a select group. A lot of folks applied for it, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned from it. And we learned from you as well during that period of time, and hope you'll now go forth and carry the message of city government here. So anyone else like to offer comment? Councilmember Adams?
Yes. Again, thank you all so much. Over the years since I've been on the council, it has really, I think all of us, it's amazing to us now how many people apply. It's like trying to get in a college or something, and so many people apply, and then we have to make the awesome decision and struggle with it of who gets to get in the class of this round. As the mayor said, just you doing this shows us that you're engaged and you care about your city. We're hoping that, like he said too, that you'll go forward and you'll do something with this knowledge that you have, now to make our city better. I'm looking forward to running into you on the street. I'm looking forward to getting your comments and emails and phone calls when you think there's a better way we can do something together. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor. I think the Mayor and Councilmember Adams speak for us all. I just wanted to personally thank each and every one of you for what you've done and what you will continue to do. So congratulations again.
Thank you. Feel free to stay or go or whatever you'd like to do. You graduated, right? You're moving on.
Out of here.
Mary ought to stay and do an article on it. Tonight's agenda of the City Council is comprised of two parts, the general agenda and the consent agenda. It's always the practice of this council to take the consent agenda as the first order of business. Items on this agenda have been unanimously approved by a committee of the City Council or are being submitted in accordance with established city procedure. There'll be no discussion of the items on this agenda unless the council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered individually. Items not removed from the consent agenda will be enacted with one motion. We're televising this meeting live tonight on TV 13, and it will be replayed tomorrow, Tuesday at 9 a.m. and again Wednesday at 9 p.m. Of course, copies of our agenda as well as videos of previous meetings are always available to the public at our website, www.cityofws.org, and just simply click on Watch City Council Meetings Online link. Council members, are there any items you want to pull from consent? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Taylor, second by Councilmember Montgomery. All those in favor of that motion, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, please vote no. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. We'll now go back to the general agenda, which is comprised of the following items. We have an item related to the public naming of a public hearing on confirming an assessment role, an item related to the naming of the North Ward Park, an item to excuse Councilmember Montgomery from voting on an item, as well as an item concerning the Southgate Apartments, and an item recommending appointments and reappointments to the Community Appearance Commission, as well as our public comment period. May we have item G1, please?
Item G1, public hearing on resolution confirming assessment role for the demolition of housing unfit for human habitation.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the council chamber who wishes to be heard? Yes, sir. If you'd come forward and give your name and address for the record, please, and limit your comments to 3 minutes, please.
My name is Sherman Beatty, and I'm a resident of 3431 Parish Road. And at this piece of property here, I bought at an auction.
Which item are you referring to, sir?
This is G1.
I understand G1, but which item under G1 there?
What's the property?
What's the property?
Colgate.
Property address?
It was Colgate.
Colgate, all right.
Yes. It was demoed before I purchased it, and I didn't even know that it was the city had demoed it. So I'm not sure if I would be responsible for that or not, because it was demoed before I purchased it.
Typically, a lien placed on a property, I'll let the city attorney answer that, would go with the property as a sole. City attorney?
That is correct. So the demolition occurred before you purchased the property, and the process usually requires, even before it gets to the demolition, the filing of a notice of lis pendens to put folks on notice that there is a pending administrative procedure regarding the property. So there would have been a notice of lis pendens filed, as well as the ordinance authorizing the demolition to take place. Both of those would have been filed. So the lien attaches to the property.
And my question, if the lien, but I bought it at an auction from the city here. And so the lien should have been, my thoughts were part of the auction there as well.
It would not have, and I'll be happy to explain it to him offline.
Yeah, if you'd like, we can have Ms. Carmen meet with you offline and give
Sure.
you more details. Should we maybe hold off on this particular item?
Sure, that'll be fine, Mayor.
Okay. Why don't we, if it's Councilmember Montgomery, your committee, I would entertain a motion maybe to approve the balance with the Colgate being excused.
So move.
Second.
Okay, the motion is to approve the item, but we're going to hold the approval of yours until you have a chance to meet with our attorney.
Sure.
All right. Any discussion on that motion? Not all those in favor of the motion, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. That motion is unanimous.
Mayor, don't forget to close the public hearing.
Thank you. We were closed. The public hearing is closed at this point. All right. Now we may have item G2.
Item G2, resolution to name the North Ward Park after former councilmember Nelson L. Malloy Jr., recommended by the Community Development, Housing, and General Government Committee.
This item did come out of the General Government Committee, but I was going to recognize Councilmember Adams. She'd like to make a comment, and then
Yes.
we'll make a motion. If you're,
Thank you, Mayor. Is Mr. Royster?
no, he is sick.
Maybe somebody from the Community Development Department and Parks and Rec can give some insight to the listening audience as to what's also unique about this park. Whether that's, okay.
Anyone here from Parks and Rec?
Looking forward. Ms. Looking forward.
Ms. Ford?
Mayor and members of the council, this is a privilege for us and an honor to recognize former Councilmember Nelson Malloy Jr. and have a park named in his honor. This is the first park of its kind that will be here in the city of Winston-Salem, where it will be completely accessible for persons with disabilities. So I think it's quite fitting for us to recognize him in this way. The letter to have the park name was actually upon the recommendation of Councilmember Adams. It was approved by the Recreation Commission unanimously, and it was just a way to note all the work that Councilmember Malloy did for the city of Winston-Salem while he was a member of council, and also the work that he does volunteering in the community to assist individuals with disabilities. We thought it would be fitting, and we're glad that Councilmember Adams nominated him for this honor, and we would like to give him the opportunity to make a few comments, as well as Councilmember Adams, to talk about his work and what this means to him.
Let's get the action done, then we'll do that. So I would entertain a motion.
Move approval of this resolution of naming the park in the North Ward.
Motion and second. Seconded by Councilmember Bessie. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that is unanimous. And I'm going to ask Councilmember Adams if you will go down and maybe read the resolution and present it to former Councilmember Malloy.
All right, my friend. On behalf of the city of Winston-Salem, the following resolution approving the naming of North Ward Park, whereas the North Ward Park is located in the North Ward, which is where former Councilmember Nelson L. Malloy Jr. served for many years. I'd say more like 20. Whereas Councilmember Denise Adams has proposed naming the North Ward Park after former Councilmember Malloy, and whereas the Recreation and Parks Commission at its March 6, 2018 meeting supported the North Ward Park to be named Nelson L. Malloy Jr. Park. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Winston-Salem that the North Ward Park be named Nelson L. Malloy Jr. Park.
Hear, hear.
Mr. Malloy, we'd love to hear your comments.
Good evening, Mayor, Joins, City Council members.
Good evening.
Good evening. Evening.
I'm extremely humbled by this honor. I want to thank Councilmember D.D. Adams for recommending that this new park be named on my behalf. I want to thank the Parks and Recreation Committee for approving the nomination, and I want to thank the council for the resolution. When I first ran for the city council some 20 years ago, when I served on the council for 20 years, my only intent was to be a servant of the people, to serve the North Ward, to represent the city of Winston-Salem to the best of my ability, to make the city and my community a better place in which we all could live, work, and play, and to make a difference in people's lives. I didn't go on this journey to be recognized one way or the other. My satisfaction basically was going to come from just serving the people. Whenever, people are honored, and on this occasion myself, I just want to say this, that whatever good that I've done, whatever positive contribution that I've made, I like to just give God the glory and the honor, because without him, I wouldn't have been able to achieve anything. And on the other hand, by me being just a human being, if I've made mistakes along the way, I've had shortcomings, I've been imperfect in a lot of ways, and all that was on me. So, I just want to, say thank you once again. And I did take the liberty to call Mr. Ralston, the Parks and Recreation Director. And I wanted to let the people in the audience know, and the viewing audience know, that, as it was stated, this particular park will be a park that will be accessible to the disabled community, people that have physical challenges, mental or emotional challenges. It'll be a park where disabled veterans can come. The park will have a picnic pavilion. It will have a splash pool arena. It will have, in fact, it will have an area where if people have service dogs, it will have a portion of this park where the service dogs can have their space to run around and exercise. People that are visually impaired, it was explained to me that one of the amenities will be that the plants, the flowers, will have certain fragrances.
That's right.
And they can smell. They can't see, but they can smell and get that sense of belonging and being.
That's right.
And I'm going to be meeting with Mr. Rawson to enhance the park in some other kinds of ways. I think that this is a great idea for the park, and once again, I say I'm very humbled to have the park named in my behalf. And I just want to say once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
We will also have one other opportunity before we actually open the park to honor Councilmember Malloy, and that's when we have our groundbreaking. The groundbreaking is planned for the 24th of April, and it'll be that morning at 9 a.m., so you'll be getting invitations, and we'll also send out press releases about that as well, so we'll be able to thank you again and have you participate in that program. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Board.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Best.
Yes. I just want to add a couple of personal remarks. When I was first elected to serve on this body in 2001, it was my honor and privilege to serve alongside Alderman Nelson Malloy. I was the vice chair of the Community Development, Housing, and General Government Committee while he was chair. And I saw at that time his approach to service. He made sure that everyone had an opportunity to make their comments, to address their concerns to the committee. He always put the emphasis on ensuring that the working folks, the little guys, the less fortunate were represented in everything he did on this council. And I want to add my personal thanks to everything he has meant to this community, and to say that this recognition is absolutely the least we could do to recognize your service. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jim. I think all of us agree with that, Councilmember. And for those of you who don't know, this park is located near the intersection of Bethabara Road and Shadlawn Drive, so it's a great location there. And so, Councilmember Malloy, good to see you again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. We have item G3, please.
Item G3, motion to excuse Councilmember Montgomery from voting on item G4.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. And of course, Council, I'll ask the city attorney to kind of say why.
Yes, Mayor, good evening. The motion to excuse Councilmember Montgomery is due to the requirements of the waiver that was granted by HUD, so he has to be excused from voting on matters that involve HUD-relating funds such as CDBG, home, and so forth. So.
All right. All those, we've already voted.
Yeah.
It's unanimous. Councilmember, you're excused from voting. Now we'll go to item G4.
Item G4, resolution authorizing permanent financing for 108-unit family rental development known as Southgate Apartments located in the East Ward, recommended by Finance Committee, Community Development, Housing, and General Government Committee forwarded this item to Council with 3 in favor, none opposed, and 1 excused.
I recognize Councilmember Clark, Chairman of the Finance Committee.
Yes, this was presented at the Finance Committee last week, and we got all our questions satisfactorily answered, and I would certainly move approval.
Second. Motion and second. All those in favor indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, please vote no. That motion passes unanimously with Councilmember Montgomery being excused from voting. Councilmember Montgomery?
Yes, I'd just like to make a comment. One, stating that I think this community should celebrate the opportunities when we make investments like the one that was just unanimously supported, particularly in terms of the area and location of the Southgate Apartments. Mr. Carr is here, and he's been diligent in maintaining this property and other properties that he has invested in this community. And the location of this property is in what we have been working on the last couple of years, and described as the East End master planning area. And it specifically will, if they're successful in getting the tax credits, successfully maintain affordable housing in a part of our community that many people are afraid of challenges of future development in terms of gentrification. And I want to thank him, his partners, and others who are committed to ensuring that there's affordable housing in this community. As he mentioned in community development, 30 years ago he was here as a youngster in their group, and today he's the senior partner in their group. And so thank you for your diligence and your work in our community, Mr. Carr.
Okay, thank you, Councilor. Item G5.
Item G5, Mayor Pro Tempore Burke's recommendations for appointment and reappointment to the Community Appearance Commission. Ramona Moxley King, appointment, term expiring February 2021, and Keith Wilson, reappointment, term expiring February 2021.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second.
Second.
Anyone have any comments?
Are either one of the folks here tonight? I just want to thank them for agreeing to serve if they're on.
I don't see anyone there.
All right.
All those in favor, please vote yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. That motion is unanimous. Thank you. And now, item G6.
Item G6, public comment period.
This is a time once per month where we invite citizens to speak to the City Council and me on matters that are germane to city government. Anyone would like to speak, if you would limit your comments to 3 minutes after you give us your name and address for the record. No one has signed up tonight, but I would open the floor for anyone who would like to be heard. Seeing no one, I will declare the public comment period closed and would entertain a Councilmember Bessie.
Yeah, just I usually like to see that somebody mentions this for folks. This week is the start of the early voting period. Starts on Thursday morning, and it's particularly important because anyone who is not yet registered but who is a citizen and resident of our city has a chance to do one stop, go and register and vote at the same time. and that opportunity will last through the close of the early voting period only. So if you're not registered yet, but you're eligible to register, you can do that in one stop during the early voting period.
Thank you, Councilman Bessie. And Councilmember Adams reminded me, and I was neglected to mention in the beginning of our meeting, I want to remember our good friends in Greensboro. A terrible day yesterday with two tornadoes touching down, and a lot of damage, a lot of devastation, fatality, and certainly we extend our best to Mayor Vaughn and her staff and the citizens of Greensboro as they recover from this. So thank you, Councilmember Adams. All right, I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. Any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? No.